Okay, so here we go. This is your first automated plant. This is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. Today is a follow-on video from my previous guide video, the first 2 hours of the game, and I've got to be honest, I thought it actually took me a little bit longer. So we spent 2 hours going from absolute nothing to having 14,000, nearly 14 grand. Okay, and we did that in stages, so we've got all this stuff as well, and we're going to unpack that all now. So we're at the big lot. This is 6,600, and we bought it. It's all good. Oh, help. Okay, so we've got 7,242 coins left. That is our first automating machine. Okay, and that is all you're gonna need. You're gonna just need 7 grand, easy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my tractor around, and we're gonna park up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack my truck. The other thing that's a little bit weird about this place is the actual dirt. Now, I'll show you this in a second. What I'll do is I'll unpack everything and then I'll explain. Right, okay, so the whole dirt thing, it's very, very strange. Alright, here we go. So that's the cut-off point there, on this bit here. So if we put one there, then we can't put one there. So where that blob of dirt is where I can put my ram drill when I get a ram drill. And then the ram drill basically has dirt underneath it the whole time, and it's as close to the coast as possible. Here we go. Right, so we'll take our tin off. We've got our money. So we need to buy 1 ram drill and a harvester. We need 5 sorters. So I suppose I should say that this guide has been made before version 1.3. The reason why I should really say that is because I'm not sure what is going to be changing. Version 1.3 is coming out at the end of July going into August time. We're not sure 100% when, but that's what we've been told. Next we need 2 T-pipes, so these ones. 1 water valve. Okay, so the valve is for shutting off water when we don't need it flowing. 4 pressure tanks. 4 of these. 4 filters. Now the filters basically make sure that your stuff doesn't break as fast. 10 corners or 10 elbow pipes. These ones. So we need 10 of these. Now we need 30 straight pipes. So this is going to take a little bit of time because loading 30 of them sucks. So the reason why we need all of this is I get a lot of questions of like, oh, how is the best way to set up automated right at the beginning of the game? How do I start this game? How do I do this? So I figured I'd make the guide. The reason why I'm making the guide is to basically do that whole once and for all thing. If people need the help, here's the video. This is how much everything's going to cost you. This is how much it's going to take. And in all honesty, this is literally how long everything will take you to do anything in this game. Now, like I said, we did the first 2 hours of this game was literally from 0 to where we are now. Okay? We've been now doing this for 20 minutes, and this is just buying stuff. This is one of the downsides to the game. The amount of time you have to spend in the shops, going backwards and forwards and picking up one tiny little thing. It's always best to bulk buy when you can. So if you're going to do like a massive build, try and work out like how much you're going to need first, and then work out how much money it's going to cost you before you even go to the shop and buy it all. I do this quite a lot now, and it saves a little bit of time. The downside is you still spend hours and hours and hours in a shop looking at items going, right, okay, so I've got to buy 30 of this. And so I do spend a lot of time working out my next things that I'm going to do. So this guide that I have built, this guide I've done for you guys, I worked out to the coin of how much that I needed in order to do certain things. I worked out how many pipes I needed to build things. I worked out exactly everything I needed to buy, which is why I'm working on a list. I've got the list next to me. It sits next to my computer until the video is done. And like I said, I need to buy certain amounts. I could tell you exactly to the penny of how much all of this stuff costs. And the reason why is because if I don't include something, someone is going to pull me up on it. Someone will go, well, you didn't include this, you didn't include that, or you went over this, and it was like, oh, you got to be honest. Say, Okay, and now we need 10 sheets of tin, which means we take our money and we come over here. Now, because it's getting dark, I basically buy a bed in the town, and then I just dump the bed by the graveyard, and then I can sleep here for the night. So now it's daytime, and it's all good. So yeah, I need 10 sheets of tin, and tin is this stuff here. Okay, so here we go. This is your first automated plant. As you can see, some assembly is required. Alright, so we're going to go from here, and we're going to bring the pipe all the way up to where we said we were. About here, obviously this is the cut-off point for the dirt. So what we need to do is we need to build our pipeline all the way from the waterfront to where we want to work from. Now, what you want to be doing is you want to be a little bit thoughtful when it comes to the piping. Now, I do have a guide about how to lay pipes in this game, and it tells you how to do certain things and how ways. But one thing that I did was I put a couple of chambers before actually the filters, and that was one thing that I did. You don't have to follow the guide exactly, but I did it wrong if you talk to anybody in the community. The reason why I did it the way that I did was just because I wanted 100% for the pipe to start with, so I could show people how to put the pipes together and what the percentage is. I didn't do it because I thought, hey, it's a good idea to miff the community off a bit, and I'm just going to show them the wrong way to do things. I did it because at the end of the day, that's how it had to be done for me. And I showed you the effects of that as well, and how it all basically comes apart. Now, you can have your filters wherever, as long as they're before your chambers. That's the main part of this. And then the idea is to build your pipeline as quickly as possibly can. Now, I tend not to like working in the dark too much because it just gets too dark. Now, thankfully, I have got lights around me and it's not too bad, but it's still a little bit of annoyance, which is why I go to bed a lot. Okay, the start of a new day. Alright, so let's whack this in, put this here, and now because we're getting closer and closer to where we're going to be putting our bits and pieces, this is where I'm going to be putting my chambers. And the reason why I'm going to put them here and not right next to the work is because I've got to split the pipeline. Okay, so you're probably sitting there going, well, but that doesn't fit properly. No, it doesn't. So some of the time in this game, you can take the mick just a little bit. That's what we're aiming for. In all fairness to this part, we're aiming to take the mickey just a tiny bit. Okay, so we need my other T-pipe, which is there. Now, the other T-pipe, the reason why we need the other T-pipe is because we are going to be doing this. Now, what I've done there is I'm splitting my thing twice. Okay, so the reason why I'm splitting my line 3 ways is because number one, I need to feed my ram drill and I need to feed my harvester. Then I'm going to put a brick on top of this because that's where I need to put my dirt. Because the conveyor belts run differently to everything else and they run in different directions. So as you can see, the arrows here, and so if I put this down here, then my machine is going to be running that way. And if I put it down this way, and my machine is going to be running that way. Now this pipe here is going to be the one that's going to be linking this to the rest of the group. So if I connect that to my conveyor belt here, that means that that's going to be running that way. So if I turn that around, which is actually where I want it to go, so it fires this way. And that's all good. So we need another bit of conveyor belt. Pucker. Right, cool. So we're going to put a brick. We'll just leave that there for a second. And it gets to a point where you are sitting there going, I have no idea what's going on. But hey, it looks funny. And that's where we're going. So what we need to do is we need to change that one to mud, which is mud is fine. Then we're going to have our crystals in first. And then we're going to have gold. Oh no, we're going to have gems first there. Then we're going to have gold. Then we're going to have metal. Actually, we'll go metal then gold. So gold is last. Now, because we've got them rested on the dirt side of things, you can dig down from this point. So you can bury your furnaces underneath. Now, in order to get over this, you'd have to build yourself a little bridge, but we can just jump over for now. So because we're doing gold, metal, and crystal, 3 of these can be these are the 3 elements that can be melted down. And what you want to do really is you want everything to be flowing into this. All good. Right. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is, because we've only got 2 furnaces, what we need to do is we need to drop these down 1. So we need our pickaxe for this bit. And the pickaxe is mainly just because what we need to do is we need to bury our furnaces down a couple of circles. So that should be deep enough. And then the furnace sits there. And then our crucible can sit right underneath the pot. Like so. Let me just get a little bit closer. Well, no. Like so. And so that's the gold one. Now we need the metal one. So we're going to go down another 2 squares. Okay, cool. Now we need our other crucible. All good. Now you would do this with the well, we need the furnace first. Now you would do this with with crystals as well, because crystals melt, which is a good thing. It's always good. So you're going to be spitting metal and gold into these 2 here. And we're going to need our pot for gems. I can't remember which one my gem one is, which is this one. So gems would just sit on the ground like that. And what we'll do is we'll do crystals like that for now as well. Okay. Which is this one. All good. So what we'll do is we will put our block underneath our round drill. Wibble it around a little bit. What you can do is you can make some stairs on here as well and be happy. And then what we need is our shovel, our big shovel, not a little shovel, big shovel. Well, we'll take that spat of dirt actually. We'll stick that underneath. So the round drill now has dirt that's going to feed it constantly, which is good. That's what we're aiming for. Next, what we need is our crystals, and then our crystals are going to sit inside each chamber. So the one thing you're definitely going to need to do is use your tin sheets on this bit. And the reason why is because you need to be able to stop bits and pieces flying around. And unfortunately, it does happen a lot. So I tend to build a little box around my harvester. And the reason why I build a little box around my harvester is because if I don't build a little box around my harvester, you start to see like things pinging around a lot. And I don't like it. So I tend to try and keep it as confined as possible, which is basically where I am. And then it's the same with the ram drill at the top. Now, there is a way of making a better filter for the ram drill. Well, for the harvester, and I do cover that in a video. Now I know it wasn't made by Rufus, but he is the only person I know that actually bothered to like show examples of it. So I give him credit, even though it wasn't him. It's okay. It's fine. It's all community. It's all good. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that. Now it doesn't make it any easier to turn on the ram drill, let's put it away, because the actual on button is there. Okay, so but before we do this and turn it on, I need to go to the shop and pick up some corks. So I'll be back in just a second. Because I've already put my furnaces in, what you can do is you can put, there you go, so that will keep heating up even though obviously we've put a floor over the top of it. It basically means that you can set your crucibles down straight and flat so they don't mess around. Okay, so that it's just one of those little handy hints to be sort of like known for later on. So I'm going to put that there because that helps for that. These are all ready to go. So we've got crystal, gems, gold and metal over there. Now we haven't cased this up as much as I would like to, but you know that's just the way that I do things. So if you watch some of my other videos, you'll notice that I put a little box around quite a lot of stuff just to make things work. Okay, so we've spent the last hour now preparing all of our work. We've got our filters on, we've got this on, we've got all of this stuff on. We haven't bought any tool bags, but you know, we'll get there eventually. So this is literally the first part of the game. You've bought the biggest lot. You're now going to be running everything the way you want to run. As you can hear, everything, oh yeah, okay, everything is running, and that's the problem. Right, give me a second. Right, so thing I didn't do before we go into anything else: corks. Corks have to be used on some of these stuff, and the reason why is because if you don't use a cork and you want to turn off the water, you can't turn off the water without using a cork, because if you turn the water off on any of this stuff, it will stop the belts working. Which, this is part of the problem with some of the ways that the water works in this game. So the last one you can actually just turn off, and the way you turn it off is using the red valve. So that means that bit won't leak, and if it does, just shove a couple of corks in it and be happy. So there we go. Right, let's right, so we'll put more corks there just in case. What we need to do first off is we need to turn our ram drill on. There we go. So the ram drill is now powered, and when we turn this on, so this is your first ever build, and there we go. I can hear it. Oh, there it is. There you go. So there you go. That's that. This will be your first proper build, and it will produce, because this is one ram drill firing into one harvester. You can get away with firing two into the same one from each side. As I said, that's how I built 100. So what you would do with this is you would just let it run until it breaks, and then you would repair it and basically keep making money from this. And as you're going to go through it all, this is going to keep melting itself down. This will melt itself down, and when you get crystals, this will melt itself down as well. Gems will come in this small size for now. Now, if you want to go bigger, you have to dig right to the bottom of this lot, which is 10 tin sheets at 45 at almost 90 degrees. It's a little bit annoying, but hey, it's all good. So yeah, you can build jewelry from this. It's just a little bit more of a nightmare. But yeah, that's your first build. So that will cost you around 7 grand, and from there, this thing will produce 1,000. I think it's 1,500 gold every 5 minutes. Okay, so this machine will pay for itself within half an hour, and when you've reached that goal, then everything you're earning is just basically pocket money. You can keep going. You can keep this running for as long as you need it to. Now, there is a thing about the ram drills. Apparently, they're not as infinite as what most people think. Now, that I haven't done a test on this, but these have got about 170 charges in them before they actually deteriorate the dirt. So you just take your shovel and fill it back up. This is literally the first thing you need to be buying and building, and at the end of the day, it's all good. This is your first build. Congratulations and welcome to the world of Hydroneer. And now what you will be doing is you'll probably sit there and go, you know what, I want to add to this. I want to start building something better. I want to start making this like more efficient. And now and then you're welcome to my world, where you turn it upside down, trying to make things better for you. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. This is the first couple of hours of Hydroneer, and they're not the most exhilarating, but you will learn a ton doing this sort of thing. And over time, you'll just carry on doing it and doing it and doing it, and enjoying the process even more. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have any questions or anything else you want to add, hit me down in the comment section below, and I'll be right here with you, and I'll answer as much as I can. And if you do want to get hold of me, I'm normally in the Hydroneer Discord, or I'm in my own Discord. You can come and find me in either. That's all good. Links are in the description box below. I'll see you all later. Have a good day, evening, or wherever you are when you watch this. Thank you very much for joining me. Peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye-bye for now.